Notice anything different? I got some glasses. I have another pair coming as well. These ones are gonna be like thicker blue, semi-transparent frames, and it's gonna be like a really pretty like darker navy. I'm very excited for them. And then I'm also trying contacts for the first time too, but today I'm sticking with the glasses. I only have my contacts. I'm technically in like the trial period, so if you have ever been like super new to contacts, so I had to actually take like a 30-minute class with like one of the people working at my eye doctor place, and they taught me how to like take it in and out, and we did that multiple times, how to clean them, whatever. But of course, because I'm new to this, they already tore on me. So that's why I'm in the glasses today. I honestly did not think that I would be trying to go for like a little wire aviator style like this, but I tried them on and I was completely obsessed. Before I forget, oh my gosh, Happy New Year. I gave myself a goal to read 24 books this year because I ended up reading 17 last year. And I only had a goal of 12, so I felt like this might be a good little push, especially because I am starting to find my style and genre of books that I'm enjoying so much. I've already finished one book already. It's January 13th, so that's really good. Just a couple days ago, I started Strange Pictures by Uketsu. I know that there's a couple of books in this sort of, I don't know if it's really a series or not, but for the sake of this, it's kind of like a series, but I've been wanting to read them for a while, and it's been really fun so far. I do not know a ton about Uketsu, but apparently like this guy like is popular because of things of like YouTube and things like that. I literally don't know anything about this person. I don't know the origins, nothing. I just think that the books looked really cool and they seemed really intriguing, and I've had some friends read a couple of their books. I started this a couple of days ago and I am already on the final story. There's 4 stories in this one. I'll give my final thoughts later when I actually finish everything. But I will say so far it's kind of sitting in the 3.5 to 3.75 out of 5 star rating for me. I mean this in the most neutral way possible. I can tell that these stories are written by someone who is like a popular YouTube horror person rather than someone that is a more traditional like literature writer. There's a lot of little tells because there's how do I put this? It's like the style makes me think of I Hope We Never Meet Again from that subreddit, or some of like the creepypastas you would have read. So I don't necessarily think the writing is all that incredible. However, it is still ridiculously entertaining. I like the little twists and turns. I like the way the stories are being connected so far. I just do think that maybe his style of writing works a little bit better like in the internet forum that he is more well known for. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. So I hope someone doesn't hear me say that and think that I'm like bagging on the guy or like bagging on the story just because like you thought it was like a 5 out of 5 type of read. It's just for me personally, when I pick up a book, stylistically, that is not the kind of book I want to read. But it has been really fun and very entertaining. Obviously, like even despite like the little critiques that I have about it, I'm eating this shit up. I started this, I think, on like Saturday, maybe Friday. It's Tuesday and I'm already almost done with the book. Like that's how far I am. Anyway, enough about that. I can't wait to read the final story and see how it all comes together and give you my final thoughts. But those are my thoughts so far. I've got a couple hours until my partner gets home from work and we need to eat and go grocery shopping. So today we're going to do a couple of little fun setup things together. My partner's mom so sweetly and kindly helped us get our very first espresso machine. I am so excited about this. I have been wanting one for like the past couple of years. So we're going to set that up today. We're going to clean it and we're going to try to pull our first shot of espresso today ever. I'm very nervous. Oh, my barista era is here. Got our ground coffee beans here. Do one of these. Oh. Oh. All right. Is this too many coffee beans? Don't judge me. I weighed the coffee beans. This is too much. I am so sorry to everybody watching right now. This is so embarrassing. I promise the next time I do this is gonna be way better, okay? This is so embarrassing. Jesus. Okay, I'm sweating. Why is it so much coffee? It's at 16 to 19 grams. Whatever. We're gonna do our best. Okay, eventually I want to be one of those cool people that has like one of the spring tampers. All right, if you're judging me right now, that is so, look at that. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I did. I guess tomorrow I'm gonna try this with less coffee beans. Let's pause and let's clean this up. In here. I think I started my timer a little early. Oh, I didn't even pay attention to the timer. I mean, that extracted when it needed to. I don't know, guys. I don't know shit about making coffee. Hopefully I will learn. Let's see what happens. So that's my phone. To be fair, I don't normally drink like a straight shot of espresso like this. You know what? I think for my first time, that's not bad. Say hi. Check it out. Look, I got my second pair of glasses yesterday. I ended up not streaming yesterday. Just, I don't know. I really feel right now like all the ice raids and stuff like in the Midwest is just, I'm losing sleep over it. So in my bio down below, I'm going to have a link to the Midwest Immigration Bond Fund. It's exactly that. It helps pay out bonds for people stuck in like immigration detention so that they can be reunited with their families. It's a newer nonprofit that I think started, I want to say about 5 or 6 years ago, if I can remember like their little about page. It's my birthday month, and I'm going to be doing a birthday fundraising stream to put money towards it. I really don't make like a ton of money on socials. I'm not, I don't have a following or viewing large enough on YouTube right now that I can put like ad revenue towards this. But I still want to encourage you all to help with supporting this program, because I definitely will be with my own personal money. And like I said, the fundraising that I'm going to do later on when I do a birthday stream. So I hope you'll join me in that. Right now, while I've got some time, I am going to put up this basket on one of my walls. This is one of those items I thrifted, I said a few weeks ago. I washed the basket, I washed the liner, and then now I'm going to take some twine and I'm going to attach it to the basket so I can actually hang it up. My plan is to have it up by like where my front door is so that I can put things just like my sunglasses, extra face masks before I go out, just things like that. So it's like in a really easily accessible spot. Hopefully it turns out cute, because that's literally what I thrifted it for. So fingers crossed, I like the look. Right, so I just hung it up and I think it looks really cute. Right now I've just got a couple pairs of sunglasses in there. I have some masks there to make it easy going out the door. I have like my little sunscreen stick too. I do think it's maybe a little bit more angled than I want, but I honestly don't know if there's much I can do about that, because I think to have it not do that, I would need to tie the little tie thing like back here, like towards the top. And obviously the lining is taking over that. However, it does kind of help it maybe look a little bit more cute as opposed to just like a big old basket hanging on the wall. All right, I need to quickly get ready. I'm not doing anything fancy, but I gotta make a run to Ulta. I'm starting to run out of a couple products. I want to get ready together, but then I watched like 3 movies this weekend and I kind of want to talk about them. Don't forget your sunscreen. I ended up not doing as much this weekend as I had originally planned, but I feel like with everything going on in the world right now, particularly in the US, I think my body just kind of needed it. I feel like I've been in a little bit of like survival mode this past week, even though it's been really nice to like vlog and chat and all that. Like I hardly even cooked this weekend, So I just made sure I relaxed, indulged a little bit in some adult gummies, maybe even overindulged a little bit. And now today I'm feeling a little bit more ready to tackle the day and the week ahead of me. I'm gonna let my sunscreen soak for just a couple minutes while we chat. So yeah, Sunday night, my partner and I, we had a little bit of a movie marathon. We watched 3 movies. The first movie we watched was Bring Her Back, and it's actually a pair of brothers, and they are actually the same directors that did Talk to Me. A brother and sister are sent to foster care, and when they arrive, they learn pretty quickly that something mysterious is going on in the household. This is a fairly brutal and violent movie, and if you have seen Talk to Me, you could probably understand maybe that Bring Her Back would go in a very, very similar direction. The kids in the movie are not spared just because they are kids. It really highlights emotional abuse, manipulation, gaslighting. So it is not an easy watch, but they did such an incredible job. So far, I'm really liking the style that these brothers direct in, because I'm finding that the allegories in their movies so far are fairly straightforward. I think that the themes are very obvious and very clear, but it's done in a way that doesn't make you feel stupid. It doesn't feel super hand-holdy, and it does it in a way that is still a little esoteric, or still a little bit creative. It was very, very intense. If you feel like that is something you could handle, I highly recommend the movie. I think it was incredibly well done. The kid that plays Ollie just absolutely freaking crushed it. I really think that this kid has a very bright future in acting, and I really hope that he is taken care of, that he's being well supported, and that he continues to shine as brightly as he did in this movie, because he just freaking knocked it out of the park. I couldn't believe it. The foster mom is played by Sally Hawkins, which if any of you have seen The Shape of Water, she's the main protagonist in that one. Holy shit, she is such an incredible actress. All right, now it's time to actually do some makeup. The next film I watched was Skinamarink. I think this came out like maybe a year, maybe 2 years ago, but it is fairly recent. This is a highly experimental film and is not going to be something for everyone. A brother and sister wake up in the middle of the night to discover that their dad is missing, and then from there, mystery ensues. The film is shot in a way that it is basically very grainy and almost like on an old VHS tape. It's an extremely slow moving movie. There's a lot of scenes that were not shot very directly, like on the actors or exactly what is going on. It's a lot of slow clips of just like showing a couch, showing some toys moving around on the ground, lights turning on and off. But again, things are kind of off-centered. You don't always see exactly what's going on. Like you never even really see like the actors' faces in the film. This is another film that highlights child abuse, neglect. So again, not super easy themes to like digest, but I did really like this film. I just thought that for what they were doing, it just went on a little too long. Like maybe it didn't, in my opinion, I think it would have worked because of the way that they shot it. It would have worked a little bit better in like a 30 to 45 minute, maybe 60-minute short film, as opposed to something that was like feature length, like 100 minutes plus. It really was creepy, and I did find myself scared actually kind of multiple times. There's a lot of peering into the darkness and wondering whether or not something is actually there or if it's just something in your mind. And I ended up reading a couple things about the movie, and it turns out that in some of the scenes where it looks like nothing is going on because you're just peering into the darkness, that there are figures standing in them. Again, highly experimental, very slow moving, but I thought the creativity was out of this world. I really enjoyed it. I love watching people try to do stuff like this. Even as much as I enjoyed it, I definitely very much recognize that this is not a film I would recommend to everybody, because you have to know going in that it is incredibly slow. The way that it's shot is the way it's going to be the entire time, and you are either going to love that or you're going to hate it. Now, the last movie that I watched was The Killing of a Sacred Deer. This is the same director that did Bugonia, which I was obsessed with, by the way. I gotta be honest, I loved this film, but I don't think I could tell you why or even what this movie is really about. I know that's so, I don't know. I feel like I should be embarrassed to say that, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm not the type of person that feels like I need to fully understand what is going on to feel like I'm enjoying something. That was the case with this movie. I think part of the reason why I kind of have trouble understanding what was going on in the movie is because it's based on a Greek tragedy that I haven't heard of before. I enjoyed the movie so much though that I think I would love to read or maybe watch some summaries of like the Greek tragedy that this movie is based on, and then possibly rewatch it knowing that what's going on in there. I'm not gonna lie, I keep restarting what I want to say about this movie, because while it is tough for me to feel like I can talk about this film and what is going on in it, I understand just enough about the movie, but I don't know how to talk to you about it in a way that isn't just like, let's spoil the whole film. But I guess something that I could say is that it's about a surgeon who befriends a teenager named Martin. They are befriended for unknown reasons to you, not to me. And then because of that, everything in his life takes a turn for the worse. Martin is played by Barry Keoghan, which he's in Saltburn, and if you've seen Saltburn and you know who he plays and what that movie is about, this is going to give you very similar feelings. Now, you ask, why did I like it? If I feel like I couldn't tell you much about why I liked it. I thought It was creative. I liked the intensity. I loved the style of acting. The mystery behind it was just so strange, and I just simply felt really drawn into it. I thought it was a beautifully shot film. It was intense. It was mysterious. Now, I did finish Strange Pictures. In fact, I finished it quite a few days ago, but I never followed up with you guys on it. Everything that I said before stands true. Loved it. I thought it was very fun. I thought it was very creative. But it does read like a Reddit thread. It does read like creepypasta. And that is not necessarily a bad thing at all. Because I do like that stuff, you know? I am very much entertained by it. But I am interested in the author enough that I do think I want to get his other book, Strange Houses, if I remember correctly, and kind of see what I think about that. Now, since then, I have started 2 books. I have started reading Frankenstein for book club that I'm doing on my stream, and then the other one is Hercules by Grace Byron. Frankenstein, I probably don't need to explain too much, but so far I am absolutely loving it. I am taking my time, I'm notating it. So far, I'm really proud of myself. I'm understanding everything that is going on, even despite like some of the tougher vocab words. I'm taking my time and looking things up if I really feel like there's something, if I can't like figure out what's going on through context clues. But overall, it's been a very rewarding experience, and I can't wait to kind of see how my opinions and my thoughts about the book change as it goes on. And I'm interested to see how my feelings about the movie change as I continue to read on in the book. The other book, Hercules, is very strange. It is very mysterious. So far, it's leading towards a little bit of horror, a little bit of thriller. But the main protagonist, who I actually believe so far has not been named, I believe that she's going to be an unnamed character, is a trans girl who is kind of having trouble figuring out like where she fits in New York. And she kind of is having some trouble with demon possession or seeing demons. It's a little unclear, but it's kind of cool. And she has an old friend, and actually I believe ex-girlfriend, who started an all trans girl commune out in like Indiana, and is now trying to convince the main protagonist to go out there so that she might feel like she belongs better. And I'm interested what's going to happen when she makes it out to the commune. I just picked it up on a whim at my local bookstore. I think I bought it around October, around Halloween. And that's everything that I've been watching and reading lately. This is all I'm gonna do with my makeup. Gonna brush my teeth, feed the cats, and then head out.